What's going on, everybody? I'm back. Welcome to our podcast or vodcast, Because of Maxwell, for parents who keep showing up. This is season 2, episode 1, but we're operating under a new brand, under a new title. So, again, it's Because of Maxwell for parents who keep showing up. Today's episode is simply, I'm back. I'm back, y'all. What a joy it is to be back to really just here, right? I'm here. I know it's been a minute. I won't pretend that it hasn't been a minute. That since we've been here, life got heavy, life, happening, ministry got busy, parenting, got intense, is intense, right? Especially being a single parent, a parent of a child who was differently able. And grief showed up in ways that I was not prepared for. And so a lot has happened since I last recorded one of these vodcasts. It's been a minute. I'm not really sure how long it's been, to be quite honest. I know it's definitely been over a year, maybe 2 years. It's been a long time. I have to go check the record to kind of see when was the last time I recorded. But nonetheless, I'm back, and I just wanted to be here and to share with you all in this space, and uh, the plan is to be consistent. I'm consistent every day. I do my devotional morning impact. So the plan is to be consistent weekly with these podcasts to be a blessing to parents who are like me, right? Who have a child with disabilities, who know the struggle, who know what it's like. Just to let you all know you're not alone. You're not by yourself. And you have a community. You have a community of persons in your corner. All right. So I'm back, not because life has slowed down, but because this space still matters, and this is something that I've been committing myself to do. Trust me, the everything will get much better. I kind of got this little background, so I hope the background is working. I got the green on because green is a color of cerebral palsy. But I'm back because again, this space matters. I'm back because I want to share stories, right? I'll go in depth at the end of this to kind of share my hopes for season 2 and this space going forward. But I just wanted to get on here. I've been telling myself for the past month or 2 months, I'm gonna get on here and record. I'm gonna get back at it. And for that reason, I just hadn't done it. And so here I am. So if you're listening right now and you feel tired, if you feel stretched thin, if you wonder if you're doing enough, this episode is for you. All right. And so, again, I just want to come back in and just, talk about why I stepped away and why I'm back, why I stepped away and why I'm back. And, I got to fix these colors, right? Because, this is, we do CP, and for CP we got to do some green, y'all. We can't hold that. That's too. We can rock with that for now. So why I stepped away and why I'm back. So I want to be honest, right? I didn't stop because I lost my passion. I stopped because life just demanded more of me, right? Life demanded more. Busy. I'm a full-time pastor for those who may know, and so church leadership comes with a lot of weight. Church leadership comes with a lot responsibilities. Raising Maxwell comes with a lot of responsibility, daily responsibility. Um, and so that gets busy, appointments and ordering supplies and just parenting. I'm managing nurses. Man, that is a whole thing within itself to manage nurses. Let me tell you, I can write stories for days. I'm trying to co-parent. Be honest, is not that successful as of late, and the past year or so. Always praying that things get better. And then grief walked in. Grief has walked into my life unexpectedly. Last year on April 29th, my big brother, Vaughn, he went home to be with the Lord after a very um, brave and courageous battle of cancer. So he went home to be with the Lord. And then my grandmother, who I love dearly, she went home to be with the Lord this year, January 3rd. And so it's just been loss and just grief um and so yeah, uh grief has walked in. So that's kind of give you some insight to where I've been. And to be honest, some days I was strong, right? Some days I was good. I'm strong. I'm smiling. I have joy. Like I'm just happy. And then some days I was just surviving, right? The weight of it all. I was, um, working a part-time job as a crisis counselor, and so dealing with people's and their struggles and their pain. That got to be a lot. And so for those reasons, just stepped away, uh, not intentionally, but just stepped away from this space. And but again, I wanted to get back, and perhaps some of you all can relate, right? Who have children, right? Um, that have some kind of disability, whether it's like my son Maxwell cerebral palsy, and I don't want to. I don't want to name disabilities because I want to, feel as if or name diagnoses or because there's a whole host of diagnoses and conditions that our children live with and have to deal with. But we all know what it's like to be a parent, whether you're a single parent or two parent household, and you got to work, you got to pay bills. Perhaps you have other children that you're tending to. Perhaps you're trying to manage your love life. You're just trying to do life. In the middle of it, it gets heavy sometimes, and we all just are doing the best we can. And that's why this is called Because of Maxwell, for parents who keep showing up. I'm doing this because of my son Maxwell, because I love him. And this is dedicated for the parents like myself who just keep showing up no matter what. We keep showing up. And so I'm sure many of you all can identify. And so for me, in the middle of all that I was going through, in the middle of all that I was experiencing, I kept hearing God whisper, "Don't abandon what I gave you to bless others. Don't forget about this space in which you're supposed to be a source of encouragement to others, in which you're supposed to share your story with others. Don't forget about it." And so I kept hearing it, and here I am. Because of Maxwell, it was never about content. It's still not about content. It's about community. It's about being in a shared space. It's about parents knowing and understanding that they are not alone, that they're not in this fight by themselves, that they don't have to walk this journey by themselves, that we can be in this together, that we can share our stories. And so again, that's why I'm back for season 2. I just want to let you all know you're not alone, right? And you have an ally, you have a friend, you have a brother, and then if you need a pastor, you have a pastor who will pray for you and uh, who'll be in this fight with you. And um, so I'm back. But I want to discuss, what else we've been into, right? What else has been going on in our lives, and y'all just work with me again. I just not as polished today, but again, I just wanted to just start. And so when we think about this, there it is. Okay. So Maxwell's he's had a journey, and he's had some challenges, and he's experienced some victories along the way. Maxwell's has had some challenges and some victories along the way. So let me tell you something real. That one of the hardest parts in this season, right? One of the hardest parts in doing this has been navigating the school system. So when Maxwell first came to live with me, and at the end of July 2023, for that first year, Maxwell was not going to school in person. He was enrolled in school, but he was not going to school in person. He came to live with me from Virginia, and so when he lived in Virginia, whether it was Chesapeake or Suffolk or Fairfax, Maxwell had the privilege to going to school with his nurse. His nurse would go to school with him, ride the bus with him, make sure he got home safely. The nurse was in school with him the whole day. Um, and we have been with the same nursing agency for the whole time. He still has the same nursing agency, but he has an additional one now. But when we lived in Virginia, he had the same nursing agency in Hampton Roads as he did in Northern Virginia. So when we moved, I came to live with me here in Baltimore, um, Baltimore County, for whatever reason, they have MOUs, memorandum of understandings, with only a certain set of nursing agencies. And the agency that we were with, Maxwell, the agency that Maxwell was with at the time and still with, they did not have an MOU with Baltimore County Public Schools. So that kind of put us in a bind. So was trying to uh, get another agency to take him, but beyond that, the Baltimore County Public Schools, they were trying to say that Maxwell was not eligible to come to school for nurse. Their thing was, oh, he can ride the bus by himself and he didn't need a nurse. I'm like, no, 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 no. Max was always going to school with a nurse. And so I'm for sure not about to send him to school without a nurse now. So that was the whole fight, because they just weren't trying to send him to school with a nurse. They weren't trying to pay for it. And so I just dealing with that. So he was homeschooled. We would do virtual learning, on the computer with one of his teachers, and just did that whole thing, and it was a lot. And I remember, finally identifying another nursing agency, and they were on the list. They had an MOU with Baltimore County Public Schools, but again, they still weren't trying to pay for him. They still weren't trying to, because what happens is Baltimore County Public Schools and Virginia, Medicaid pays for the nursing, right? In Maryland, the school system has to pay for the child's nursing hours in school. So Baltimore County wasn't trying to pay for it. But me, I'm gonna advocate for my son. I'm gonna advocate for him. And so finally, we went through the whole school year. He was receiving school at home, and finally during the summer, I remember I was just having a struggle. I remember reaching out to his mother, like, "Hey, I'm having a issue getting Maxwell back in school. Can you help?" She was like, "Nah." I'm like, "All right." So I just kept, trying to do my best to make sure, just putting pressure on the school system, emailing the nursing department at Baltimore County Public Schools office, and finally we got Maxwell back in school. Finally, uh, they approved it, and he went back to school. So that's probably been like the toughest thing thus far, since Maxwell's been living with me. Managing nurses can be tough at times, but just that was tough. And then there was another thing. Um, we were trying to, Maxwell. Uh, he has cerebral palsy, and he has scoliosis. And unfortunately, he didn't receive the best care. Um, other physicians and other doctors, right? They just weren't. I mean, he's just getting amazing care. I think so. And I'm perhaps some bias, but getting amazing care here in Baltimore with Hopkins, and just followed by different specialists. And so he just wasn't receiving the best care. And so finally, we got him in front of orthopedic, and he was like, your son has scoliosis. Like, we need to fix this because this could be, potentially harmful, on his lungs, and just kind of, long term quality of life. So they recommended him. I get what's called a magic rod in his back to kind of help straighten him up. But not only straighten him up, a magic rod, it can extend as he gets older, so he can grow with it. So we had to schedule an appointment, and then we had to cancel it. or reschedule, schedule appointment, and then reschedule. So we kept going through this over and over again. And then it got to a point when the doctor that was supposed to do it, as an older doctor, got to the point where he canceled the surgery. And it's like, Lord, like, now he canceled the surgery. Like, when's the surgery going to take place? And we kept waiting for. I kept emailing and calling at the doctor's office, like, hey, like, when are we going to reschedule the surgery? Like, when's the surgery going to take place? Oh, we don't have any space available. There's no space available on the schedule. What really happened is, with this doctor was old and he's retiring, and he was just stopped doing the surgery. So instead of just telling us, right, that he was no longer doing the surgery, they kept saying that space wasn't available. Long story short, we get him in front of a new doctor, Dr. Jane, good doctor. If anybody who's watching this from the Baltimore area, if you want to reach out to me, have some questions about our experience, feel free to reach out in the comments, or I reach out via email, and I will find the email. I'll make sure I put the email up with Dr. Jane. Dr. Jane was good. I mean, he's been great. Actually, have an appointment with him coming up in the next month or two. So finally, we were able to get him the spinal surgery after waiting for probably a year and a half, 2 years. Finally able to get him the surgery, and that's just been a blessing. He's no longer like curved, he's straighter. He's doing better. The recovery went well, and so just very grateful that things went well. Um, you know, being a single parent it's not for the faint of heart. If any of my single parents out there, it can feel like a full-time job. And so, being a single father, being a pastor, I was working a part-time job, parenting Maxwell was a lot. But it's been a blessing, and I'm just grateful that Maxwell has progressed as he's gotten older. He's not on as many medications as he once was, and he's more alert. He's just more responsive. He's just more aware of his surroundings. He's just more himself, and so I just praise God for the improvement he's making. He's getting big. Maxwell's like 80 pounds. I'm like, yo, I gotta get in the gym because I gotta make sure I can lift and pick Maxwell up and just do all I need to do. And so I'm just grateful for that. There's some other blessings I want to share, but I'm not gonna quite share them in this episode right now because I just don't want to speak too soon. And so, but God's just been blessing, doing this big one, as it relates to Maxwell in our life, and I'm just grateful, right? Because every little step feels like a miracle, right? Every little step, just everything, every doctor's appointment Maxwell does well. Every improvement just feels like a miracle. I mean, Maxwell has a bone specialist because he sustained a few fractures, right? Just freak accidents, just and we find out through what's called a DEXA scan that Maxwell has osteoporosis, that his bones are very fragile. So we had to start giving him bone infusions to strengthen his bones so that he can just have stronger bones, so he won't be susceptible to these fractures just for out of nowhere. So grateful for that. And so I just want to encourage anybody out there, if you're a parent raising a child with disabilities, that as parents, we celebrate things that other people may overlook, right? We celebrate the small wins. We celebrate simple things like having a bowel movement, right? Is a celebration. Going to the bathroom on your own, depending on the issues your child might have, that's a celebration. Just being honest. And so, um, just grateful for the improvement that Maxwell is making, and the small wins that matter, the small victories, those things matter. And so, I'm just grateful to God for what God is doing in Maxwell's life. Grateful to God to what God is doing in Maxwell's life, because God is just doing big things in Maxwell's life. All right. And so I want to talk about faith in the middle of just real life. Faith just in the middle. I want to say this clearly, right? I want to say this to all those who are watching. Faith does not mean that life is going to be easy, right? Faith does not mean that parenting your child, your miracle baby, your baby boy, your baby girl, no matter how old they are, right? They'll always be our baby boys. They'll always be our baby girls. Faith does not mean it's going to be easy. But faith does mean that God will meet us in the hard places, that God will meet us in the hard places, that God will meet us in the tough places, that God will always be there for us. There were days when still I prayed tired prayers. Lord, just give me strength for today. Lord, just give me strength. Not next month, not next year, just for today. God, give me strength. Hospital stays. God, just give me strength. Maxwell just came off one of his longest hospital days. His hospital stays of 19 days, and being there every night, spending the night, just asking God to give me strength, asking God to give Maxwell strength. Most importantly, to give me patience, right? To help me to be the best advocate I can be for Maxwell, to help me to be there for him. Um, and so we have to pray those prayers, and we have to keep the faith. And one of the things that I've learned, and I'm still realizing, and I'm grateful, is that God always shows up. He shows up not always by removing the struggle, but God shows up by giving us grace, giving me grace to carry it, right? Giving me grace to still smile in the midst of it, giving me grace to still I serve my church in the midst of it, giving me grace to still I be at peace. And so I'm grateful for God. And if you're watching this, if you're a parent, and if you're listening and you're wondering if God sees you, let me say this: God does see you. God certainly sees you. God sees the late nights. God sees the doctor's visits. God sees the school meetings. God sees the tears you cry in private. God sees it all. God sees the diaper changes. God sees you know the clothes you got to buy. God sees the sacrifices that you're making. God sees your tears. God sees the stress. God sees you when you're struggling to cope in healthy ways, but sometimes you cope in unhealthy ways, but you're still trying to do better and be better. God sees it all. God sees it all. And it's my prayer that not only does God see you, but it's my prayer that all of us will find community that also sees us, right? That we will find community that will be willing to embody the presence of God and to come around us and put their arms around us and help us through this journey. Um, Again, on my journey, there's one of the blessings is I have great nursing care and I have great nursing hours. However, there are some gaps where I don't have nursing hours that's paid for by Medicaid, and so often not oftentimes all the time when I want to go out, if I have a meeting, I want to do something, I have to pay out of pocket, right? If the co-parenting arrangement falls through, and I have to figure it out and reach in my pocket and pay for it. And so that can be a stress and a struggle at time. But I'm grateful that I found somebody who's willing to show up, and although I got to pay them, I trust that person, and I'm grateful that they're willing to just be present, and be kind, and we all need that. We all I need, whether it's family or friends or church members, right? Sorority sisters, fraternity brothers who are willing just to step up, right, to help you out, to help you carry carry on, on this journey called life, because it can be tough. It can be tough. And so I just want to encourage you to keep the stress, faith, keep the faith, and keep your hope, and to keep pressing. Um, keep pressing because your child, our children, are blessings, and they're not burdens. They are blessings. They are not burdens. I want to remind somebody, your child is a blessing, and not a burden. One of the biggest reasons I created this vodcast, or this podcast, however you call it. I don't know, is it a podcast or a vodcast? I plan on just doing videos. And again, I'm gonna find my rhythm. I'm gonna find my zone, my lane, and yeah, we're gonna be rocking and rolling. Just like uh, on Morning Impact. If you watch it every Monday through Friday, 8:15 a.m. On the St. John Facebook page, St. John YouTube page, my YouTube page. Like, I have my rhythm, right? And so I'll find my rhythm in this podcast space. But one of the biggest reasons I created this space is to normalize disability, to normalize children like our children, right? Our children, they're not broken. Our children, they're not abnormal. No, our children, they're not mistakes. They're not burdens. It may be a burden to somebody else. Somebody else may think it's a mistake, but they're not. They are blessings with unique journeys. Maxwell, I declare, Maxwell is a blessing with a unique journey. Maxwell has taught me so much over these past 3 years. Maxwell has taught me patience. Maxwell has taught me, well, let me not say over these past 3 years, over the past 11 years, he's taught me patience. He's taught me love. Maxwell has taught me compassion. He's taught me resilience. Maxwell has given me perspective that I have not had. He's increased my faith and my trust in God. Maxwell has made me a better father. Maxwell has made me a better pastor. And ultimately, Maxwell has made me a better man. And I know, right? I know your child has done similar, if not more, for you. Your children have made you better parents, better men, better women. Your children have taught you faith and patience and hope. One of the things I know is that this journey, right, as being parents with children, special needs, being parents of children with disabilities, right, it can be very lonely at times, right? It can be extremely lonely. It can be hard. Just, I mean, let's just say it plainly. It can be hard and difficult. Yet in doing it, we learn so much. We learn so much about our children. We learn so much about the health system. We learn so much about ourselves, right? We learn that our children are blessings, that they're beautiful, that all that we do, that it's worth it, even on the hard days, that it's all worth it, that it's all worth it. Say it with me. It's worth it. They're worth it. Maxwell's worth it. Because of Maxwell, I'm better. Because of Maxwell, I'm stronger. Because of Maxwell, I'm more faithful. Because of Maxwell, I have more joy. Because of Maxwell, I've grown closer to God. Because of Maxwell, He has shown me what God can do. Because of Maxwell. Because of Maxwell, I've created this podcast for parents who keep showing up, who keep showing up when they don't want to, who keep showing up when they're tired, who keep showing up on the hard days, who keep showing up when they're doing it alone, who keep showing up when the doctors say no, who keep showing up when the insurance company denies a medication, who keep showing up when the pharmacy is taking forever or they're out of stock, who keep showing up when you got to go to the ER, who keep showing up, who just keep showing up. This is what this podcast is for parents who keep showing up. Keep showing up when you don't want to show up. Keep showing up when you're tired, when you're sleepy. Keep showing up. This is what this space is for. And so this season 2, New name, new brand. What will season two bring? Um, Real stories from other parents. Yeah, not just me, but real stories from other parents. Encouragement for the tough days. Practical advice navigating systems. Faith in everyday life. Conversations that normalize disability. Yeah, what will this season bring? Some episodes will be just me. Some episodes will be interviews. Some episodes will be encouragement when you need it. But every single episode will remind you that you are seen, that you are strong, that you are not alone. And it's going to be a journey, right? Because it's just me, right? I don't have no team, I don't have no staff, right? It's just me. And so just know that it's going to be raw, uncut, unfiltered for now until I get a thing that I can do some editing and do some things, some splicing and splitting. But I'm going to give you truth and I'm going to give you authenticity and I'm going to give you my heart. And that's what you want above all, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get my heart. You're going to get authenticity. You're going to get community. That's what you will get. So in closing, let me leave you with this. If nobody told you today, you're doing an amazing job. You are doing an amazing job. You are doing an amazing job. I got happy for real quick. You are doing an amazing job. Showing up is powerful. Showing up when you're tired. Showing up when you're grieving. Showing up when you don't have all the answers. You are doing an amazing job. And that is love in action. And that's what Because of Maxwell is all about. Those parents who keep showing up. But thank you for being here. Season two is just getting started. If this bless you, feel free to share, feel free to comment, feel free to like, feel free to email. Let me find the email. Let me find the email because I created the email a while ago. I just want to find it. Um, there it is. Maxwell Dad Podcast at gmail.com. So if you just want to email us one day, email us at Maxwell Dad Podcast at gmail.com. Wouldn't it be something? Because I haven't checked it in a long time. Wouldn't it be something if I had like 100 emails in? But yeah, that's the email, Maxwell Dad Podcast at gmail.com. So if you just want to email us, you have show suggestions, you have questions, you have encouragement, whatever the case may be. If you just want to email us, feel free to do so at Maxwell Dad Podcast at gmail.com. That's yeah, we're going to keep that. We're going to keep that. But the title is Because of Maxwell. We're going to keep Maxwell Dad Podcast at gmail.com for now, right? Unless feel need to change it. But again, thank you for showing up. Pray that y'all have a wonderful day. Yeah, and that's it. That's all. See y'all next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Maxwell was born on a Tuesday, so we see y'all next Tuesday. All right. God bless you. Peace.